This is Arts and Crafts with Luba Carlson, and this is kids episode, but I don't have any guests, so you're gonna have to just have me here today. Our project today is this rainbow wall hanging. It's not completely finished, but it's kind of getting there. And the whole rainbow is a collage, and it's made out of papers that have rubbed texture on them. I will show you how to do that. For this project, we will need some white cardstock. If you do not have cardstock, just get some paper that is not too flimsy. I don't think regular printer paper would hold this. I think that would be a little bit too light, I guess, for this. So we'll need a couple of sheets of white cardstock, and I also have half sheets of printer paper to make actual rubbings. I brought a couple of things that I used. I call them texture plates that that do different kind of textures on them, but you don't have to have a specific plate to do texture rubbing. You can use things around you at your house. Bottoms of the shoes usually have interesting textures on them. Walls. Just look around. Sometimes notebooks would have covers with interesting texture. Now that I'm talking about this, even this table has texture, so I'm gonna try and take a little bit of texture from here. And then I'm gonna have, I have some crayons, glue. I have a random paintbrush. We're not gonna be painting with this, but we'll see. We'll see if we get to that. I hope we will. Again, glue sticks, some tape, and some yarn. I really like this yarn because it has, it's cotton, but it's multiple colors in one string, and that allows for this kind of rainy look. You can also use just white yarn and paint it, or you can use ribbons. Whatever you like can go underneath the rainbow. It really is not that important. All right, so let's work on our rubbings first. And for that, you will just need some surface to rub on. So maybe I'll just use this. Some printer paper that goes right on top of that, and we're gonna need to cover the whole sheet. And then you can use your crayons or coloring pencils, whatever it is you have at home that's accessible to you, that's what you do. And we are going to create 6 different rubbings, one of each color: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. So for this one, it's red, so I'm gonna find my red crayon, place my paper on my textured surface, and I'm just going to rub, and that's gonna make noise. The more pressure we apply to the paper, the better the rubbing becomes. Also, crayons create brighter rubbings than coloring pencils, but you know, there is no right or wrong with that. So I would move this on the plate. Do this again. And again. And again. And then for my next color, I'm gonna go ahead and try some different texture to work with. So for this one, for example, I have this plate. So I'm gonna grab my orange and another sheet of paper. Again, put it on here and rub, rub, rub. You get the idea. Just kind of keep going until you have 6 colors. All right, so this makes makes another one. And I really just want to show you, if I move this off a little bit and I just work on the table, I'm gonna grab, let's grab purple just for the sake of the show, okay? And the grain of the table goes horizontally, so I'm gonna rub the other way. And you can see that this table also creates very interesting texture. So look around, find different items that you can use, and create 6 pieces of colors, okay? So I did that at the studio earlier so that we can save a little bit of time on rubbing. So I have my red, here's my red, orange, yellow, blue, no, red, orange, yellow, green. Wow, here we go. And then blue, and then purple. So I'm gonna use these colors to create my rainbow. Here we are. All right, colors are ready. And the next step will be to create the base for the rainbow so that it has something to sit on. This is cardstock, and I'm just gonna fold it in half, just like that. Make a nice crease. And you can always use things that are available to you. For example, the tip of the glue stick to make the crease nice and flat. Here we are. Then I need to find the middle over here on this fold. And quite honestly, I do not really want to fold this whole piece because I want it to stay flat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of my rubbings because I'm going to fold it in half eventually anyway. So I'll take my rubbing. It's the same size paper. See, the same half sheet. I'm going to fold that in half. And yep, I forgot something. I forgot to grab a sharp tool. Oh, I have scissors, never mind. Okay, sorry. Line this with the edge and with your fold, and it'll give you the exact spot where you want it to be for your middle. So it's gonna be right over here. Open. Now, if you are young and you need help, please go ask for help here, all right? You can use a sharp pencil or you can use scissors, and you're just gonna poke a little hole right through here where the dot is. I'm working on a craft mat, so me poking the hole down like this is not gonna hurt the table. But please, please ask for help. Ask an adult to help you if you need help. So there you go, it's right here, and I'm just gonna turn, turn, turn. And I have a hole, and then I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger because I need to make sure that my yarn will fit through it. Okay, so I have a hole here. I'm gonna grab a piece of yarn, and let's see, let's measure so that we know what we're talking about. We're gonna do 8 inches and cut right here. Fold in half. And then we need to tie a knot on the ends over here. So I'm just kind of going to kind of bring it over. That's too short to show, but we can do that. Bring this over. And then the part that's over goes under and through the hole. Under and through the hole. And then we have a knot, and I'm gonna make sure that I can send this knot lower to the bottom of this. And then make it tight. Okay. And so now I have a little loop. I'm going to go flip this over, and from the inside out, I'm going to push this yarn through that hole. And if it's not coming out very well, I could use a pencil to push it or something else. Okay, so now we have the hanging piece. Open again, and now I'm gonna pull this back just, well, maybe for about an inch or so. And I'm gonna grab some tape, and I'm gonna tape that piece down because we do not want to lose that. Just there, just like that. There we go. Our next step, so see, that's hanging, just nice, very nice. Our next step is to create pieces of yarn that will be like little rain over here. And for that, you can use a book, maybe, or if you had something that you were wrapping around, you can use that. We could use this box, anything that is sturdy enough to wrap the yarn around it, all right? So I'm gonna get a whole lot of yarn for this. And I think that may not be enough, but we'll start, gotta start somewhere. All right, and what we do need to make sure is that the piece that we're wrapping around is roughly the same width as our rainbow going to be, okay? So this black piece is kind of there. This box is a little bit shorter, but I think it'll work. So I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap on the black piece, and I am going to start at the very end over here, hold it with my thumb, and just go over and over and over again until I have the whole length wrapped in yarn. Okay, now this, I'm going kind of fast. I can push this down. Come back. There we are. And just keep going. You know what? I'm going to set my yarn on the floor here so it's easier. It'll make it easier to pull. Okay, I think we're good here, so I'm gonna go all the way to the bottom over here and cut here first. Done with that. Okay, and now I need to secure this so it doesn't run away from me. I'm gonna grab my tape, go a little bit longer than my wrapping piece is that I'm using. So give myself some extra room, and stick this to the yarn, okay? Now this is gonna hold just fine. Now we're gonna cut over here on this end. It helps to have sharp scissors. There. Okay, so see what I have now? It's kind of like that. Like here. Yep. And then I'm gonna grab the pieces that were under, and I'm just flipping them over right on top of that tape. Just like that. And I'm gonna let it sit for just a second while it's waiting to be used, and I'm getting my base, open the base, and then my yarn over here is gonna go on the very bottom right here. Now I wanna make sure that everything here on the bottom also sticks. So I'm gonna put some glue on there first. And yes, we also have tape there, but it'll just help it all hold better. Okay, bring this here, put this on, stick, stick, stick. All right, so this is done for now. It can sit. Oh no, sorry, one more thing, not done, not done. We need to put glue now all over this page here. And then we'll close it. So I'm putting a whole lot of glue on the inside, but then I'm also gonna go on the other side and put glue here, and that's the part that will go over the yarn, so it will help it stick better. And close. And press. All right, so this already looks like something super fun, I think, at least to me, because you could do a whole lot of things here on this paper, but that's a good start. All right, I'm gonna trim those pieces of tape and get rid of them so that they're not in the way. Okay, that goes to the side. Now this one goes over here to wait. And now we're gonna use a paper, the printer paper, piece of paper, and we're gonna use it to create a template for the rainbow. Fold in half. Okay, now the rainbow has 6 colors. So I am eyeballing this. You can use a ruler if you'd like, but I am gonna eyeball it. So first on the fold, I'm gonna divide it in half. And then each half needs to be divided in 3. So I'm gonna think it will be here, and maybe here, and then here and here. And then I need to do the same thing over here on the bottom so that my rainbow comes to the right spot. So again, we're gonna do half and in 3s. Okay, now I'm gonna use my crayon and I'm gonna connect the spots to kind of mimic the arch of the rainbow. So that's my first arch. Then we're gonna go, here's my second. And I'm just gonna keep going until I run out of lines. Here we are. Let's check. Red, orange, yellow, green, purple. Nope. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. All right. Now I'm gonna write the color, like the first letter of the color, right on the rainbow so that I don't forget which one is which. Red, yellow, green. What am I doing? That's orange. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, you guys. I guess I'm tired. Let's try again. Red, orange, yellow. See what happens? That's good. Green, blue, and purple. Okay. We're gonna cut on the lines. So this is my red. And orange. There goes yellow. It's good I counted them. Green. And then blue and purple. Okay, get rid of the scraps. I don't need them. And then I'm going to start with my red. So I'm going to look for my red rubbing. It's right here. Fold it in half. Okay, grab my rainbow, the red color, squeeze it into here, just going to sandwich it in. All right, and so you can outline it and then cut it, or you can just cut it right now. So I'm just going to cut it. Just going to make sure that it's exactly where it needs to be. And it's a little bit off. It's all right, not a big deal. Okay, so my pattern goes away. I don't need that anymore. And here's my rubbing. Kind of glue it in place right away. So put some glue on it. And then the top of this middle is going to meet right where my hanger is. So that's going here. And then the rest of the rainbow takes its place. You might need to play with this a little bit because paper gets wet. It feels kind of wet with glue, and so it might start doing funny things. So you might want to be able to move it around a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing for orange and yellow and green, blue and purple. So with the next color, I'm going to try and make sure that the bottom meets the bottom right here. And just do the same thing. Cut, cut. On the curve. Okay, that I don't need, these I don't need. Let's give it some glue. And put it in place. If you overlap it a little bit, it's perfectly fine. Just make sure that it's taking its place, okay? This is my yellow. Again, line it up with the bottom the best way I can. Okay. Let's put the yellow in. I think a little bit higher. I have not been very exact the way I'm cutting it, so you kind of have to forgive me for tiny gaps. You can always lift it a little bit higher if there is a gap. Oh boy, green. Bring it down to the bottom. There we are. There's green. Let's do blue and then purple. There we are. The smaller they get, the easier it is to cut them. They're just so small. Okay, purple. This one is purple. I used it already before, but I just need a little bit of it, so it doesn't really matter. Here's my pattern going on and down, like that. And cut. There's not a lot of purple on this one. Oh well. And glue. Okay, so we are here. The rainbow's pretty much done. We're gonna cut around, but we are not going to cut to the hole. So we're gonna come over here, and we're gonna stop. Okay, and so now it's up to your creativity. What would you do with this? So there's a couple of options that you could do. One, you could use a comb or a brush and brush this all out and make it super nice and fluffy, soft yarn just coming down from the rainbow. You can go through each strand of yarn and just tie a knot in the end. You can kind of brush it up and maybe use a heavy book or something. Just put it on top here and cut so that your yarn is at the same length. You can do that. What else? Oh, here I have it. I have just one because I ran out of time. Or I was gonna use the scraps from the papers and just make paper beads and put some paper beads on the bottoms of the yarn and do something like that. So I hope you had fun with this, and I really hope that you will put your own spin on this project, and I'll see you in the next one.